I've spent the last, I don't know, 3 full days working on finalizing my DR-Z4s build because next week, actually, in like 4 days, I'm taking off to do the new Oregon BDR with some friends. I think I've got this where I want it. I'm incredibly happy with how it's turned out. My goal was to create basically everything I liked about the CRF300L Rally, but with DRZ power, and I feel like we've come very, very close to that. So I want to walk you through my full DR-Z4s BDR build, light adventure build, and give you a preview so that when you're watching the BDR videos, you'll know exactly what's on the bike and people won't have to ask 300 times, what is that tablet? What is that tablet? What is that tablet? What is that? Have you mentioned the tablet? What kind of tablet? I couldn't tell what kind of tablet it was. Not that that happens. We will start at the front and work our way to the back, and I'll just run you through all the mods that are on this bike. Also, big thank you and shout out to Quadlock for sponsoring this video and the channel and the trip. The most obvious and most prominent addition, and probably my favorite, is this adventure spec. I'm calling it a rally tower. I think they call it a mini fairing. The idea here was twofold. One, get a little bit more wind protection, and two, more importantly, have a place to mount a full-on GPS or in this case, an Android tablet or some kind of navigation device where it's up and visible and not on the bars, and really just increase the versatility of this setup to make it far more ADV bikey. So this installed really easily. It's adjustable. You loosen the bottom screw and you can move this up and down, or really forward and backward, and I've got it, I think, right where I want it. The wind protection is shockingly good. It's better than most adventure bikes I've ridden, to be honest. I've got a minimum of buffeting. Absolute no-brainer. What a great product. Adventure Spec sent me that, so thanks to them for that. I've also got my Green Chili Adventure Gear lift strap here, so that if we get into a situation where I need help getting pulled up an obstacle or just picking the bike up, it's always good to have an extra grab point, particularly on the front where there just aren't any, other than the bars, obviously, but not from the front. Lightweight, easy addition, inexpensive. I like that a lot. Tires, I'm running Tusk D Sports front and rear. I pretty much always do that. Get a lot of miles out of these tires. They have great traction and they're half the price of anything else out there. Always really happy with the Tusk D Sports, and this is no exception. Also on the front here, you can see these are the Cyclops Tough Lights turn signals, and they are quite literally indestructible. They have a challenge at Touratech where you just hit them with a bat. And it's the same one that's been there for about 3 years straight, and no one's managed to break it yet. So these are great. They also function as running lights. The ones on the back also function as brake lights and running lights and turn signals. So really happy with those. Great upgrade. Expensive, but it's a buy once, cry once situation, because I've seen plenty of broken stock turn signals. I've never seen one of these break. I've also just stashed a couple Green Chili Adventure Gear. These are just those polyvinyl straps. You can't have too many straps, and I don't like want them stuck at the bottom of my bag if I need one. So I have just kind of there's one here on the front, there's one on the rack, just if I need to strap something down. There's always a use for those straps on a trip like this, so I always try to bring a few extras. Before I forget, down at the bottom here, Tusk aluminum skid plate with some Tusk skid plate foam. These are the stock foot pegs. Oh, and here also from Adventure Spec, the rear brake reservoir protector, and that's just hard plastic, which I like because it'll scrape and slide and still give some stiffness and rigidity and take the brunt of anything that hits that brake reservoir. Tusk D-Flex Pro handguards. I got a whole video installing these you can check out if you want, but had to get a little creative, but I wanted to keep the bar weights because of the vibration, so they are mounted on the outside. These have been fine so far, no real disadvantage to this, except the time I crashed and it hit me in the thigh and gave me a big fat bruise, which was not awesome, but it is what it is. This is the Moscow Nat bar bag. I don't really run tank bags anymore. You can ride just as hard as you want with them, but I just find it more comfortable and convenient to not have something right here. Hey, Mac. You're so vicious, bro. There's literally nothing over there. Dude, puppies are so dumb. Well, this is a handy addition. So I do have cruise control on this, and as you know, I have had mixed results with that. So it is unplugged at the moment. I might plug it in for the highway sections and then unplug it when I get to the off-road. Haven't decided yet, but if I don't plug it in, then I've got the cramp buster here, which you put the palm of your hand on it and you can hold down the throttle without having to use as many muscles. It's just for relaxing on the highway. And then when I'm not using it, either I just push it down like that so I can still turn the throttle, or I just take it off and stick it on the handlebar. But that's like a $6 mod that is absolutely worth it. You'll notice, of course, like every bike, double take mirrors, indestructible, lifetime guaranteed, infinitely adjustable. Fold them in when you have to go through a tight trail, fold them back out when you get to the highway. And you'll also see on this trip, I'll be removing this mirror. I'll put a camera here. So it also functions as a B camera mount, which is great. Oh, I didn't finish talking about the Nat bag. So it's got a cool patch spot on the front. Shout out Motor Nerd. But just a couple pouches. space for a phone or a battery pack or whatever. I sometimes put a mini tripod in there, and then in here's for sunglasses, but I usually just keep stickers in there. A pen, because I never have one to fill out campsite registrations. So just a handy bag, out of the way, works well. Really like it. I've had it on a bunch of bikes. This is the Adventure Tech Pro tablet. There's the name, so you can't say, you said it too fast. This is a great tablet. I had it on the 390. It worked great. I have it here on the DRZ. It works great. It's going to be my primary navigation. It's hardwired in, so it charges when I turn the key on. I can run DMD2 or Gaia on this easily. It's great, really easy to read screen. It's very bright, functions great during the day, and I'm just really happy with this setup. Also, someone asked yesterday about line of sight, and I can tell you this is lower than most ADV screens. Honestly, I look way over it. Like my eye line is about right there. So you're not going to have any line of sight issues with this windscreen, which I like. They also have colored fairing. I went with the taller, clear one because it just is better for filming, so you guys aren't trying to look through an opaque screen. You can just get the tablet or you can buy the mount. This is a locking mount. It's aluminum. It just attaches to an amps pattern. It's a great setup. Really happy with it. Thanks to Brian. Shout out Brian. Again, another small business owner who's just trying to get his product off the ground, so happy to be supporting him. Probably most importantly here on the handlebars, of course, is my quad lock mount. This one actually has seen a couple gnarly crashes, and my phone has never come off of the mount, not one time. So a quad lock mount is a very simple setup, and yes, they sponsored this video. It has two pieces. The mount here, which you can see I've got a vibration dampener attached to, and that eliminates the vibrations that destroy your camera, both on the highway, and this bike has a lot of vibrations, and off-road when you're riding rough terrain. It's just a simple bar mount underneath, then the vibration dampener, and then this is the wireless charging head. Just pop it on like that. You gotta wait, make sure you hear the click. There you go, and it's on all the way. Nothing getting that phone off of there. It's not going anywhere, and you can see the vibration is dampened, so it's not destroying my camera. I've never had a camera issue. I've been running these mounts since 2017. The other component to the system is the phone case, and they have a phone case for just about any phone you can imagine. This is literally a Google Pixel, so not even like one of the big two, and they have a bespoke phone case for it. And if they don't have a phone case for your phone, they have stick-on mounts, which work great. I have one on my generic Chinese phone that's huge, heavy, that I use for navigation. It's important to have a backup for your navigation, so yes, I'll navigate with the tablet, but if something were to happen to that, and that has happened to me twice, thanks Garmin, on various BDRs where I've had to go to my backup, my phone, you want to have that option. That's what the quad lock is for me. I put this on every bike, probably the first thing that goes on every bike. They have a full configurator tool, which is cool because with multiple parts, sometimes it's like, I'm not sure what all I need. And you just go on their website, hit the configurator, and it'll tell you what you need. And then you can just order the whole kit all at once. Also, very prominent on this bike and very important to an ADV build, the IMS 3-gallon tank. 3 gallons is a huge improvement on this bike, and for BDRs, 3 gallons I would say is the bare minimum because many sections are 110, 120, 130 miles, and getting about 50 miles to the gallon, conservatively, to get 150 miles, I need 3 gallons. So a 3-gallon tank on a dual sport like this is super important, and again, it's another step towards making it like the 300L Rally. 300L has like a 3.2 gallon tank, and it has a windscreen, and those are the two things that really set it apart from other dual sport bikes to make it more light adventure-y. My bike has both of those. Another huge improvement, you can't actually see the logo, but this is the Seat Concepts Extra Comfort, Wide Comfort, something like that. It's the biggest one. I don't know why anyone goes with any other seat because yes, it's wider back here where you sit on the highway, but it's just as narrow where you're standing, and you can lock the back of your legs into the extra width of the seat. So this seat is a game changer, especially on a dual sport with a dirt bikey seat like this. I love it. Super comfortable. Seat Concepts go on every bike I have, and I have a 10% discount code for them as well, which I'll put in the description for you. I've decided to go with the Moscow Alpine 60. This gets me 60 liters of storage plus. It's very secure, like it's not moving like at all. I like the Moscow stuff because they have a rigid backing plate. This gives you 3 separate bags, but they're big and long and weirdly shaped, so you can fit weirdly shaped things into them. This is loaded with all my gear for the trip, which will be in a separate video probably after I'm done because I'll do a debrief. As you can see, it's taken a few hits and it's just fine. So this is the first real big test of this luggage, but I know it's going to do great. Right here, Green Chili Adventure Gear. This is the Mule water carrier. There's a reservoir in there, a bladder in there. There's actually 2 bladders in there. One for you just fill up with water and you can use it for drinking. I always like to carry extra water, particularly on a long trip like this, like to have an extra gallon, and that's a 4-liter bag. But 2, there's a dirty water bag in there, so you can also use it as a gravity filter. So I always have an option for getting clean water, even if we're not anywhere near potable water source. You can't see it as well, but if you saw the mods video, you know I'm rocking the Precision Motorcycle Racks rear rack and then the soft luggage mounts underneath here. Those are great. I wish they attached a little bit more securely. I've had some issues with the bolts vibrating loose, but I've since Loctited them. It just sucks because 2 of them are the seat bolts, so those have to come off from time to time. But Adventure Spec very kindly sent me their full soft luggage and rear rack setup, but I couldn't get it to work with my tail tidy, and I don't have time to source the spacers I need, so that's my bad because it's for a stock bike. But that's also a great setup, which is a little bit lighter weight than this, and I think probably attaches a little bit more securely. Nothing wrong with the PMR stuff, especially for, you know, casual riding and stuff. I just don't think it looks as good. On the rear, I have probably the most indestructible motorcycle dual sport tail setup in the world, with the tough lights, which again function as brake lights and running lights. And this is that flexi fender tail tidy that's literally made of like a TPU 3D printed, and you can't break it. It just flexes. You can't cut it with a razor blade. So I could loop this thing 200 times and that would be fine. The subframe wouldn't, but that would. On the rear, again, Tusk D Sport. These are great tires. I love them. They're a little loud on the highway, but what do you expect from a full knobby? The big downside is they're not great on wet pavement, but no knobby is. And then I wanted to show you 2 more things on this side. One, Adventure Spec. This is the kickstand switch protector. So that's just another plastic puck really that goes over the top of it like a slider. If that switch gets damaged, then you can't start the bike. So, and then down here, the Adventure Spec kickstand foot enlarger. There's some sand on this route. There's a lot of soft ground, a lot of loamy ground. So it's nice to have a little bit wider footprint here for when you put the kickstand down so the bike doesn't just sink in and disappear. The yellow that matches the bike is a nice touch too. Got my BDR stickers because it's good luck to have them on the bike, even if it's not the bike you did the BDRs on. And those are the ones I've finished, or at least 80%ed, which is as close to finished as you can get sometimes with rerouting and all of that. Oh, and the Tusk bar risers, which maybe I don't actually need because I'm not that tall, but they make me feel better. And that's all that matters. I'll put links to everything in the description so you can get a sense of what's on this bike. If you're looking to build out your own DR-Z400 Rally, as it were, which will probably be the title of this video. I'm very happy with this setup. I will obviously let you know when we're done how happy I was with it on the trip, but just riding it around, I did some harder stuff around here just earlier to test the setup, and I've ridden it on the highway some, and I'm just super happy with how comfortable it is. I've got about a 5.5 hour ride to the beginning, so that'll be the real test. So links in the description if you want to build your own DR-Z400 Rally, or even get, obviously these aren't all bike specific, you can get an Adventure Spec fairing or a seat concept seat for whatever bike you have, or the hand guards, turn signals, all of that. So thanks again to Quadlock for sponsoring this video and the trip. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate you, and please do not forget to be excellent to each other. Also, Army of Dorkness shirt available in the store. Oh, thank you.